It's time to wake up. It's time to wake up. It's time to wake up. It's time to wake up.
Okay, I'm going to be hard on you. We have 6 people, 6 startups. If you exceed 5 minutes, I'm going to kick you off stage, okay? Or you throw something, okay? If it's like 5:30, you're going to start throwing things. Now the deal is as follows. We have 6 startups giving their pitches. And please, guys and girls, try to be entertaining, okay? We don't want boring pitches. After 5 minutes, we stop, and then you got 5 minutes Q&A. Do any questions. It's really embarrassing if nobody asks questions, okay? So ask any questions like, what's the time, or where you were born, or how is it in Torino, you know, okay? And then after 10 minutes, I'm going to end this, and we're going to go over to next one. And then at the end, we're going to have a voting. Remember, June 6th, Vote for Europe. We trained this today, okay? You're going to go voting today. And we're going to vote this one startup that's going to represent itself tomorrow at the main stage, okay? Any questions? No? Let's start. So let's start with Alessandro Armillotta from AWorld. Here he goes. You an applause, and you get the microphone.
Thank you. Great name, by the way. Great name. So I know it's in the evening. I know it's a little warm. So let me start with a question. Super simple question. Don't fail me here. Raise your hand if you really, really care about the planet. Must be super simple. Perfect. We're in the right place. But let me tell you something. I don't really believe you. I'm going to tell you in a second why. 77% of people want to take action for the planet, but they don't know where to start. And sometimes we have some barriers that are stopping us between taking action and not. We know that actually we have an internal need into taking action, but the barriers are sustainability is sometimes complicated. We fail to see the impact of our daily actions. So is there something that telling me the difference between taking my car or taking public transportation to come here? Not really. And then I didn't really believe you because what we're really fighting is a huge intention behavior gap. Sometimes we say we want to do something, but we act in a very different way. Even worse, worry is decreasing, and sense of empowerment is dropped from 71 to 68% in the last few years. This means that for some reason we think that we can always do less, and we cannot afford that. I'm Alessandro Armillotta. I'm the CEO at AWorld, as every Italian entrepreneur from Milan. Of course, I grew up in the fashion industry. My work takes me from Milan to the United States, to all the way to Asia, where I worked and served a company in the fast fashion industry, making $5 t-shirt and $5 leggings. As an entrepreneur, curious, I asked the company to go and see the factories. So I go in one of these industrial areas, I'm walking in one of these factories, and I'm asking the lady that is walking me through, I said, okay, I need to do some corporate espionage. You can tell me what is the next color in season and what is the next style in season. This lady says, Alex, that's top secret. I cannot tell you. But if you want to know the next color in season, you need to go and look at the color of the river. That was my turning point. And this is why we came back from that trip multiple years ago, and we built AWorld. AWorld is a platform that digitally wants to help you and empower you to take action and live sustainably. A platform dedicated for people, citizens, employees, consumers, and students. I just realized, oh, I don't have a clicker. Oh, perfect. We believe AWorld is the most advanced platform out there to help you live sustainably. Just like Duolingo meets Strava, a Duolingo educational tool, and Strava that helps you monitor your CO2 emission. It's a mission-based, gamified experience that wants to drive sustainable change in your lifestyle, downloaded by more than 1 million people from all over around the world. How does it work? It's pretty simple. It has an impact engagement methodology, a methodology that we built that helps you measure your carbon footprint and dynamically track it, because the carbon footprint has a big issue. If you just answer the question, it gives you a number. It doesn't tell you how to reduce your carbon footprint, and it doesn't really change based on your lifestyle. It has 1,500 educational content in 6 languages that want to help you on a daily basis to learn and reward you for your learning. It gives you simple actions, 115 actions that you can do at home, at work, while you're working, while you're moving around. It has a mobility assistant. Imagine downloading an app, activating it the first time, putting it in your pocket, and get notifications saying, Alex, good job. Today you walked 2 miles, you used a bike, you used public transportation, but yesterday you took a plane, and these are your CO2 emissions. All automatically without having to log anything on your behalf. It gives you challenges. to leverage power of community, take action with your peers, with your colleagues, with other students, with other citizens, and also compete against other challenges. We know we need to, other people, we need to leverage competition. Gamification and rewards. Just like Duolingo, we have leaderboards, we have leagues that help you increase engagement. And once you do something good, once you read content, you take action, use public transportation, you get rewards that you can then spend on a marketplace for products or services to continue your sustainable lifestyle. We're building for the first time ever an impact score. It's the first individual score on sustainability to answer a very important question: how sustainable am I? Any organization can use AWorld wherever they like. A corporate can use the AWorld app to engage their employees, but a corporate can use an API integration to engage consumers. This is dedicated to banks that want to engage consumers, energy companies, any organization out there that needs a digital tool to reach millions of people worldwide. Perfect. I'm almost done. This is my last slide. Luckily enough, we work with the corporates from all over the world, from BlackRock, from the ANL, from E.ON, engaging all of the stakeholders, because we know that climate protection is a team effort. But one more thing. AWorld is the only platform in the world selected by the United Nations to promote the Sustainable Development Goals. If you go to un.org, you find our app on the UN's homepage. We work really closely with the European Commission. And in December 2023, Google made the list of the best apps in the world, and among ChatGPT, Spotify, AWorld ranked as the best app for good worldwide.
Wow.
Thank you.
Okay, wow. So if you keep the applause short, then you can ask longer questions. Do you have any questions, comments? I'm handing over the mic to you.
So I have two quick questions. The first is, what is the business model behind it? Like, how do you monetize all the users? And the second is, besides like the reduction of the personal CO2 emissions and also the personal feeling, what is in for the user? Because I mean, they need like an incentive to continuously use there, right?
Correct. We monetize this B2B and B2B2C. So the company is a license base, a yearly license base, where we give a license based on how many employees you have or consumers you have. Of course, for employees, it's kind of cheaper. You use our app. Once we integrate this into the banking app, it goes between 0 to 100,000 up to millions of consumers. What's in it for people? I would love to say there is community, that what you want to meet other people like you, like-minded, and you want to see others take action with you. Competition, you want to compete against other people. The truth is, unfortunately, the reward. The stronger the reward, the stronger the engagement. So we're now listing up all the way up to an electric bike for 3,000 euros, for example. We just did a challenge with a Lega Calcio Serie A, just like the Bundesliga, and we gave away 10 tickets for the Coppa Italia final yesterday. That really moves engagement.
The guys know how to do it, right?
Yeah.
Good. Any questions? And in the end, you stand around asking questions because you didn't dare to do it in public, right? So
I wanted to know, how are you accounting for the consumer goods that a person is shopping as part of his footprint?
4 areas of the carbon footprint that we monitor: mobility on our app, we do that automatically. Energy, we plug this into the energy provider. With consumers, we work with a partner called Doconomy, which is an algorithm that tells us exactly, with open banking, where you spend your money and what is the CO2 equivalent. So you can add your credit card and you go and spend, and we'll give you the CO2 equivalent and adjust your carbon footprint. We'll learn about you, a little scary, I know, but then we'll start to nudge you with more sustainable actions or lower impactful products that you can buy, or products or services that you can buy.
it's called Big Brother. He's watching you. Any more questions back there? Okay, wait. We got 2 more minutes.
Thank you. Very interesting.
20 seconds. You have to be on time.
Okay.
Thank you. Very interesting product. I was wondering, it's my easy follow-up question. Do you also think about monetizing the data you gather from the people? I mean, it makes sense.
Not the data today. What we're going to do is we're going to tokenize the individual savings of CO2 on the blockchain. and the future maybe create carbon credits, something very deep down the road, in order to sell those carbon credits and re-incentivize people to take even more action.
No, you were not fast enough. We have to stop here. Alessandro, thanks a lot. AWorld, good, fantastic product. Thank you very much. And we hand over to Emil Pettersen. I have 3 mics and 2 hands. So give a warm applause for Emil for, whoa, what's that? Do you need a microphone?
Yes, please.
Can I help you?
Nice, right.
Do you need the clicker also? Give me a sign. You can also give me a sign to click if you want. No, it's okay.
Try not to.
Okay. No.
Try not to appear crippled. Trying to appear big and strong. This is actually an interesting bridge because we're going from a guy from Italy, grown in the textile industry, to now running an IT company. I'm an IT guy, born in Norway, working in Sweden with the textile development. So you got both ends of it. And my background working with IT, I think, puts me in the direction when I ended up as the CEO of a textile company. And pretty much like you, the thoughts and processes of the textile industry offended me mentally. So for the last years, we have been building a company based on a problem or a solution. I mean, it's always nice having a product, marketing it with graphical pictures of turtles not feeling all right and stuff like that, but you have to know that there is some sanity to this as well, and everybody says, well, we have to get rid of plastic. I mean, this plastic bottle I found inside the stomach of a cod 4 years ago, inside the stomach. If we see this as the problem or the solution, it's... Could I have a clicker that actually works?
Okay, this does not count on your time, okay? Right.
No, it's all right. Or if someone just could change the... There it is, okay. Because even though people are depressed with the textile industry and claiming that synthetic material is bad, synthetic material is good as well, and I want to celebrate the fact that we have actually learned to process and recycle a lot of synthetic material. A lot of them are going back to products, but normally the PTE and HDPE, the simple plastic, the nice plastic with a very, very long molecule change, easy to recycle, easy to do something else with. You know, textile industry have been bragging about using PET, recycling PET in the textile. PET doesn't have anything to do in any textile. PET is the best plastic we have. We can recycle it, it's food graded, it can be recycled several times. What we need to focus on, because making clothes today out of these nice materials, could I get the next slide please, is there, no, previous, sorry. Can we get back once again? Sorry. There we are. What we need to focus on is the bad plastic, the plastic we know as packaging, the plastic we know that have been in the ocean, been degraded. What can we do with that? And now I want the next slide. There, okay. Because what we know for sure is that throughout 2040, there will be an increased demand for polyester. We need to find ways, not producing raw polyester, but we need to find ways of recycling the polyester or the plastic that we already have. We need to get away from monomaterial, and we need to get away from using the best material. We have to upgrade instead of downgrading. So if you see the market, this, at the same time as the polyester need is rising, we will stop getting raw material from oil. And the next slide, please. There we are. The solution which we are working with in Sweden at the moment, we have a running business making clothes out of the good polyester, but being able to serve the whole world with textiles, we need to find solution for the bad polyester. The solution is a cooperation we do together with the German company BASF. prolonging short molecule chains. We're adding an additive, creating new, nice, long molecule chains. We're taking bad quality plastic, elevating it. If we take the next slide. And as for now, we have the business making the clothes, selling the clothes, earning money today. We are doing the tests in Sweden. Q3, we're going to be finished with a small-scale local trial, being able to use plastic that have never been good enough for textile industry, but doing it in Sweden. In Q2 25, we're going to have the first industrial trial in the Emirates, solving a particular need there. And hopefully this test we are doing will make it possible to make textile yarn from local trash on local factories all over the world in connection with the production plants. So from a small company producing corporate
30 seconds.
wear, from a small company producing corporate wear, building on different waste streams, always looking for less quality material to upgrade. That's what we are doing, and that's where we are thriving at the moment. If you come by a booth in Hall 20, you can feel the clothes made from tires, recycled tires through pyrolysis, and also what we are making from this. And hopefully in 2 years, you can be able to feel the clothes that we are making from really, really bad quality plastic.
Emil, thanks a lot. And do you have questions? If not, I have one. We met a guy, Anssi from Finland, and he wants to get rid of all the ocean plastics by getting the plastic out of the rivers. So River Recycle is his company. He has got very low quality plastic from rivers in Indonesia and China. Is there a chance that he can get you that plastic?
Some of you probably know Clemens Feigl from AWorld, right? We're having a meeting later on this evening because why I'm designing this is based on a question I got from the Emirates. One of the important family had a problem after they built New De Palm. It destroyed the streams so that one of the princes got a lot of plastic trash on his mangrove beach or whatever. He wanted me to come down, pick the plastic, make clothes of it, and give away the clothes at COP28. And I said, well, that doesn't make any sense, transporting garbage from one side of the world to another part. So the solution would be for me to find a recipe to be able to come, take your plastic, make compound out of it, and make the yarn in factories near where it is. So, yeah, obviously, cleaning countries in rivers in China will always be a political issue. But obviously, the most important thing is to be able to use all plastic, whether it's in the river or the sea, and everyone just picking up a gum paper on the way to the subway. That helps. But for me, it's a matter of finding the industrial scale and not having to ship trash from one part of the world to make something in another part.
Understood, and you're right. So,
sorry.
Any questions?
So to follow up on the part you just said, that you actually need to have the recycling production on close to where all the garbage is picked up, is the kind of chemical process that you're using, are you able to pass the whole technology and chemical things on to, for example, big like markets that produce a lot of garbage, so that they can then in turn create recycled clothes close to where the garbage is picked up?
There is a lot of people who are good with textile to textile and chemical recycling. I'm interested in mechanical recycling because that's the easiest way to upgrade garbage, making it a raw material which worth something, and then it can be made from textile to textile. The answer to your question is that the project we are doing now together with BASF, the setup is that we are at RISE in Sweden, we are getting the recipe. We can ship the secret sauce from BASF's laboratory in Germany to any site where we can have a local group picking the plastic, compounding it, and finding an existing yarn factory which are producing nylon yarn or PET yarn anyway.
Emil, thanks a lot. It's great if the industry helps to change something. Can I help you? Nice. Works. So let's go on with Mashrur from IPAGE. With an applause, please, because it's always nice to... It does.
Hi, everyone. I'm Mashrur, the co-founder of IPAGE. We are an agricultural information technology startup from a South Asian country named Bangladesh. Now, imagine how challenging it is for the 7th most climate vulnerable country in the world, with half of its active workforce involved in the most climate sensitive profession called agriculture. We have 16 million farmers. 7 million of them are smallholders who do not have access to actionable data on soil, weather, climate smart practices, and linkage to critical products and services for their farming activities. If agriculture can be made profitable for these small farmers, even in such a challenging context, then it can be done any part in the world sustainably, profitably. That's why IPAGE aims to empower small farmers by making agriculture data-driven and profitable. We are building a digital decision support engine to help the farmer do the right thing at the right time with the right partner. Now, you'd be surprised to know that to produce 1 ton of chemical fertilizers, it consumes 8 megawatt of energy. And just because of the little knowledge about the application of chemical pesticides and fertilizers, small farmers are directly contributing to produce massive volume of carbon dioxide, as well as the climate change, beside also being the victim of climate change. That's why our decision support engine uses advanced proprietary soil testing technology and weather technology to generate real-time data and provide site and crop-specific advisory to the farmer, as well as weather forecast. This information is being transferred to the farmer directly in their local language using automated voice calls and messages, as well as in-person training sessions. Now, convincing small farmers to follow digital advisory is a challenging job. And that's why we have introduced an innovative funnel-tunnel approach to drive the behavioral change of the farmers systematically. Here, we put a cohort of farmers on our system where they get registered on the system, receive farmer cards, soil tests, weather advisory, and in-person training on good practices. In this process, we transform a group of climate-vulnerable small farmers into a community of climate-smart producers. We started our journey back in 2020 with only 50 farmers, and now we are serving more than 20,000 farmers in the most climate-vulnerable zones of Bangladesh, helping them to optimize their profit and productivity, as well as reducing their cost of production and environmental impact. Our B2B partners are also being benefited by this digital end-to-end farmer linkage by boosting their productivity, efficiency of operation, and reducing cost of mobilizing their products and services, as well as marketing. Besides receiving multiple global awards and investments from multiple global stakeholders, our impact journey is also exhibiting interesting financial perks that is a testament of IPAGE being a profitable business with a mission to impact the people and the planet. We are building our agricultural data service business sitting in a country with 7 million small farmers, where the market opportunity of such business is nearly $200 million per annum. Now imagine if you can go beyond Bangladesh, where the market opportunity of such business is $18 billion for a market size of 600 million small farmers, a data provided by the FAO of UN. We are raising a seed round in our current fundraising to onboard more farmers, because the more farmer we have, the more data we generate, the higher accuracy we can deliver, and also we can generate more business by connecting these farmers with our B2B partners. Now, Based on the discussion so far, if you all believe in the power of data and precision technologies to empower small farmers in becoming more climate smart and profitable, then let us be all in the same page, and that page should be IPAGE. Thank you.
Okay, he answered all questions, but do you still have any?
So first of all, really great what we are doing, really appreciate your mission. And I wanted to ask, like, I can imagine that the farmers in Bangladesh, that it's difficult for them to make an investment, like, because they won't earn that much money. Do you sell your technology directly to them, or do you have some like government programs where you cooperate with Bangladesh to then support these farmers? So how are the systems get then implemented into the fields without the farmer having to make the big investment?
So we have a franchisee model of business operation where we franchise out our technology to the government extension agencies and the local NGOs, where we train their staff with our technology and they take our technology to their farmer base with higher credibility. That also reduces our field operation hassles and cost. So that's how we are doing it. The farmer doesn't have to buy the soil testing device or the weather station. They can just subscribe to the advisory. They can take the advisory and then also get access to the banking financials, banking capital and inputs to our partner, and we make money from their commission.
Thank you.
Anyone? Back there.
Thank you a lot for your presentation. I am also curious if your partners are offering irrigation systems for the small farmers or fertigation system in conjunction with your device.
So yes, we do work with the local machine service provider, where we have a number of local machine service provider offering a series of machine services, including irrigation. However, fertigation is not a practice commonly being seen in Bangladesh in the context. So that is something we would love to try with a competent partner. And you see, we are the matchmaker. So we have the data on the farmer's demand and the service and products offered by our B2B partners. So if anyone in this audience have that kind of service, we're open to discuss.
So we have another minute left. So if no questions, then I need somebody to tell him how great he is. Does anyone want to do that? You're great. You're really great.
Thank you.
Thanks. Now, so let's go over to somebody who's also great. This is Adrian from Senken, and he's going to present now. Oh, there he is. Go, Adrian, go, 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 go. It's 5 minutes, you don't have time.
But I get more minutes without the clicker working, right? First of all, how do you like my design? I'm obviously not from the fashion industry. I'm not a designer, but it's the only slide I created myself, and you can see it. I'm gonna flip the script though a little bit. I'm not gonna present the company that I founded. I'm gonna present a new tool that we created, because we're a carbon credit marketplace, and we're already known to be the highest quality carbon credit space, especially in the carbon removal space. We're already second biggest in the world, but we always got the same questions. We work with a lot of corporates out there, and they always ask like, hey, aren't carbon credits shady? If I buy your carbon credits, aren't they gonna accuse of us greenwashing? What kind of credits I'm allowed to even use? There are insane amount of standards out there, and they always came with the same questions. And in the end, they said, okay, if you can't help me, then I go to the big consulting companies. I pay 100, 200,000 euros just for them to tell me, okay, because you have a net zero target in 2030, that's the credits you have to use, that's what you're not allowed to use, that's when you're allowed to say I'm carbon neutral or not, and so on and so forth. And of course we didn't want this to send them to the consulting companies, right? So we created a tool where they can put in their carbon emissions, they can put in their net zero targets, short-term reduction targets, and so on. And it tells them exactly what kind of carbon credits are they allowed to buy, what kind of claims are they allowed to make, depending on the industry, the country they're in, and so on and so forth, which is changing every week. Our tool is also changing every week. It keeps up to date with all the regulation out there, and it shortens that whole cycle where they paid hundreds of thousands of euros before to like 3 minutes, and it's for free. So everyone can use it. It's completely for free, and it's aligned to science-based targets initiatives, but also new things like, for instance, the voluntary carbon market integrity initiatives, and all these acronyms no one ever heard about. Every week there's a new acronym also coming out. So super, super easy to use. And now you're probably asking, hey, is this a big thing? 2/3 of the whole emissions in the world already have a net zero target. At a certain point, it will be 100% for sure. And they're all gonna have these kind of questions. Who are they coming to? To us. Thanks.
Okay, danke schön. Yeah, it's worth an applause. And especially, he saved us a lot of time, right? So you can ask...
I'm the first German, so I'm just trying to be a little bit more efficient, you know.
Well, so much for the stereotypes. The same Germans who tried to build BER for 20 years, yeah. Okay, so questions to Senken.
Hello. I'm wondering which kind of impact metrics do you have at Senken?
For us as a company?
Yeah.
So first of all, our business model is based on how much funding we get to projects. 90% of our projects are in the Global South. Half of our people working at Senken also there in our South African office. For our company also got founded in South Africa. So the business model is getting funding to climate projects out there that we vetted. At the moment, only 3% of all projects we ever looked at made it through our due diligence process. And we only earn based on how much money went to the projects out there. Before, players like, or competitors of ours, they charge like 100, 200% on top of the money that came, for instance, someone invested 10 million in a project in South Africa, then they also charge 10 million on top just to bring them together. We only charge 10%. So basically, that's our metric, right? The more money we bring to climate projects that have an impact, the more money we make.
How do you go to market?
So basically, I mean, we are a two-sided marketplace, right? So we have to basically have two go-to-market strategies. On one hand, the projects, the climate projects out there. Since half of our people are in Africa, we have a really good network in all sorts of countries to get the projects. On the other hand, we have to go to the corporates out there. We have to talk to the sustainability managers, the C-suite, and so on. And on that hand, on one hand, the brand is already quite strong. We have an online academy, which is also for free, educating people. That's one thing. But also now a lot of carbon accounting tools, so the tools that come into the companies to measure their footprint, they also asked us, can we use that tool for our customers as well? Because before we also sent them to the consulting companies, but now we can just use that tool, and that's basically they're doing the distribution for us.
So this, I think we're, so, we can ask, okay, last question, but you have to hand through the mic.
Thanks very much, really exciting presentation. In the mining industry, in certain jurisdictions, large companies have to put aside a certain amount of money, either for insurance or for remediation if it goes wrong. When we come to carbon projects, it's all about revenue sharing and dividing up the pie, and less about taking out insurance or the loss and damage when something goes wrong or it doesn't continue for the time period was engaged. Have you started to explore some of that risk side of what if we were taken through litigation processes and held responsible?
So there are basically two sides where you can look at insurance. So we actually also created like a partly insurance project. We call it the Senken buyer protection, a little bit like the eBay or PayPal buyer protection, because what we do is from the transaction volume going into projects itself, we created a buffer pool, so 1 to 3% of all the investments that go into projects, these kind of carbon credits generated through it go into a buffer pool that in case something happens with the projects, and most of them are nature-based, nature is always risky, the buffer pool that we created comes up for these kind of, can be anything, wildfires and so on and so forth. But then there's the second thing that you talked about, litigation and so on. Of course, that's a thing where we're not looking at the moment. But what we do is we also look at ratings of these climate projects. And if a credit or a project gets down-rated under our threshold, then our buffer pool also exchanges your project with a higher quality project.
Okay, this is Adrian, the person who get a rising star for Senken things. So thanks a lot, Adrian.
Thanks.
And let's come up. Danke. Talking about stars, let's come to the rock stars. Last week I've seen on the main stage of the online marketing rock stars, and now this stage, you make it up this stage. This is Patrick from Klima&so. You can applaud, it's okay.
Thank you very much, thank you. Thank you very much. So very serious topics today. It's my job now to talk with you about social media. So who of us in the room is using social media platforms in their everyday life, business life? Yeah, okay, almost everyone. So we are all experts, right? So did you know about the carbon footprint or the carbon impact your content or your business's content can have on like our society in terms of this Instagram reel I brought with me cost 26K in social costs. Let that sink in. It's quite a lot of money. So how does this happen? Well, we with Klima&so, we built the first calculation model to calculate carbon emissions caused by social media content, translated into this Instagram reel by Stefan Raab, his comeback video, 60 million views in Germany a couple of weeks ago, caused 142 tons of carbon emissions by distribution, servers, and the end devices. So translated into flights, we put the iPhone on a seat on a plane, fly it 77 times back and forth to New York City from Frankfurt. It's kind of insane, right? So what do we do about it? Well, we love social media. We love the entertaining. We love the educational content. We need social media to do our marketing, to run our businesses, but we need to fix it. The problem at the same time is 774 million social media accounts are trying to achieve what Stefan Raab did a couple of weeks ago every single day. So it's very unreasonable to get the genie back into the bottle, so we have to make it better, social media more sustainable, because at the same time it's causing 200 million tons of carbon emissions every single year, leading to the fact that the social costs we are all paying for social media carbon emissions is $50 billion. Well, that's why we founded Klima&so. Klima&so is taking care of that. It's very simple. We create the insights for content creators and brands, what carbon emissions are connected to their social media activities. In the second step, we enable them to take action, aka reducing the carbon footprint of their social media activities and compensating for that. So we are kind of connected to the business of Senken in some way. And in the third and the most important aspect here is communication. We need to bring out the story of there is something negative happening, but we can take control of it and we can turn it into like a positive impact story that brands and content creators are aware and are taking action. And this we then can reflect into the whole society of let's do something about it, right? And we have content creators and brands that are taking care of it and want to communicate that. So how do we do that? Actually, we have this calculation model, our Klima&so platform. We can connect all these social media accounts of brands and content creators. We have all this intelligence around it. But the most important aspect here is that we meet our customers, brands, content creators, agencies, where they are already. So what we do is we build the connection to the platforms that are already out there in the market, because we don't have the time to build all these customer relationships to the single businesses. So that's why we're building the integrator for carbon accounting services, for social media marketing suites, to then also get the carbon emission data from the social media activities. Why does it work? Because social media is culture. And John Paul and I'm Patrick, John Paul is here in the audience as well, we understand social media culture and we speak social media. And that's why we are able to put sustainability on the agenda of content creators and brands in an environment that is mostly about entertaining. And we do it in a fun and nice and positive way, no finger pointing. And this is how we can shift society to the better future then.
Well done. Okay. Okay. Don't post anything of what he said, okay? Don't do it. Do you have questions? What? Come on. I mean, yeah. There's one mercy question, so that you're not left alone.
Our earning model. Yeah, so it's a bit more complicated than I just showed, obviously. So currently we have two revenue streams. The one is we do social media emission audits. So we go to the brands, we help them identify how many carbon emissions were caused in the last year. We are kind of the auditor for their social media activities in that way. And then we can help them improve their social media game for the upcoming year and connect them with specialized agencies to bring the emissions down and bring the performance at the same time up. Another way is that we have like a subscription service, so that whenever a brand is connected or a creator is connected to us, we provide them with communication assets so that they are able to communicate their CO2 compensations at the same time they are happening, basically, so that they can tell the story of, hey, if you see this video, this comes to you in a carbon dioxide compensated way.
And how do you exactly compensate the carbon emissions? Like, do you work together with, like, you mentioned like agencies or like NGOs and support that to compensate that, like with reforestation projects, or how do you achieve that?
So basically, we have our own compensation portfolio. We talked, before we actually built the product, we talked to 20 German NGOs in order to make sure that we are not building the biggest greenwashing machine ever. And now we have like 5 compensation projects. We are financing NGOs in Germany, but also in Global South, nature-based solutions, but also technology solutions to diversify basically the investment in the compensation portfolio.
Doesn't he have a voice that is soothing, like sounding like everything's going to be good? Could you just talk longer? It's just like, yeah.
I could, but my co-founder used to be the front man of a metal band.
Oh,
so
okay.
he could shake up the room if you're like too chilled right now.
Okay, next time. Any more questions? If not, no. Then we go over to the next one, which is CityQ, and Chris is performing. Dankeschön, an applause, be nice.
All right, I'm the last one, I suppose, for you today, and I think you're all a bit tired. Now, I don't have the metal band voice here, but I have something for you, just to wake you up a bit. I was at the Disruption Mobility Summit actually this morning, and I found this quote actually quite good, and I want you to stand up if you agree to this quote from Johannes Rau: "Less automobiles will increase the quality of life, not more." If you agree, stand up. Yes. All right, let's get the heart rate up. Okay, you can sit down now again. Thank you. So my name is Gruen, and I want to tell you the story about how we revolutionized the last mile mobility aspect by downsizing cars into four-wheel e-bikes. So talking about the challenge, do you still remember the times without traffic jams? That's a long time ago. And obviously a lot of us actually bring that time back by swinging ourselves onto an e-bike or to a cargo bike. We pick the kids up from school now with a cargo bike. We do our grocery shopping. But there are obviously certain limits to using 2 or 3 wheels. So that might be weather related in terms of bad weather, rain, it's cold, or there are certain restrictions around capacity, in particular if you want to use a 3-wheeler e-bike or so for hauling in deliveries nowadays on last miles. So there are certain limits. So to overcome these limits, what we did was actually producing the smallest 4-wheel vehicle with a car-like feeling. So the CityQ in itself is actually certified as an e-bike, so which means there's certain advantages attached to it. You don't need a driver's license. You don't need to actually buy insurance for it. And at the same time, it basically has some sort of a car-like feeling to it in terms of security, in terms of comfort levels. So that was recognized actually by quite a number of people. So more or less, we have a very high interest rate from B2C customers on the one hand side, and on the other, a lot of interest from B2B fleet customers as well. So in relation to this, what we then actually did in order to actually serve multiple segments within the market was to create it as a vehicle platform, which means if you see the back end of the CityQ, there are different modules basically available for it. There are 2 different cargo type or cargo box attachments that you can actually use. There's a pickup version, which is actually very much being liked by facility management customers. And then you obviously have the personal transport version, which you can see on the bottom right. So if we look into the advantages of what it really means to downsize a vehicle to a bike, it means quite a few things. So first of all, the CityQ in itself is actually quite an electrified vehicle. So although you actually push pedals, there are no chains, there are no gears basically included into the CityQ, which basically means there are not many moving parts, and therefore the OPEX costs are basically about 50% lower than on a regular, say, more mechanical cargo e-bike, as an example. So, which makes it actually a perfect solution for scaling last mile deliveries. From a sustainability point of view, especially if you compare it obviously to an electric vehicle, space is actually quite a winning argument. It's about 75% smaller, so which means 75% as well less in terms of congestion and parking space in terms of that you require. And it's an e-bike. It just weighs about 120 kilos or so. And that basically means there's much less CO2 being emitted throughout the life cycle of a CityQ than with a regular EV, so 80%. You need 90% less energy, and good news as well from a charging infrastructure point of view, you can actually take the batteries out, the 2 batteries actually in there, which you can take out, swap, and charge at home or at the office or at the depot. So thankfully, we were also recognized, we're quite proud of that, by the Solar Impulse Foundation. That was actually being, or we won an award during COP26 on that, so quite happy about that. And what is our status? So we have focused a lot on trying to make the hardware business model scalable. It's quite a big market that we're basically engaging on, 100 billion euros by 2030, that is. We started production in Germany, in Nuremberg last year, and we're already booked out through our sales pipeline basically for 2024. We're going now into a Series A. We will be focusing on IP around software, and you're welcome to test drive it amongst other places with our distributor in Berlin, being Lefcon. Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot. And now, first question is, of course, where can I test drive it? Down here? Didn't you have a...
No, we didn't spend any money actually on the test track.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay.
But if you basically look at sales at Lefcon 24, okay. There's this big distributor basically that's working with us in Berlin.
Okay. So you'll see us on the street with the CityQ. Any questions?
Thank you very much. I think it's a very interesting concept. What's the speed of this e-bike?
25 kilometers per hour. So basically, to retain an e-bike certification, you basically have to limit your speed. It could go faster. For other markets in Asia, we may actually want to look at that. But obviously, for retaining that e-bike certification, up to 25.
So you can get it if you want, illegally. Questions?
Yeah, for Nico Rosberg, we have a pimped-up version, obviously.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Do you have to think about if you want to have questions? Oh, so far away. Wait. You just have to do something while you're waiting. Wait. Here you go.
Thank you so much. It was a wonderful presentation. I have a question with respect to the battery. So how much does the battery weigh, and what kind of battery do you use?
These are two batteries with a capacity of 1.4 kilowatt hours. So in terms of weights, I have to think it's probably about maybe 10 kilos or so, a bit more, yeah. Looking at one of my colleagues at CityQ, I'm the business development manager, not the CTO. No, but it's basically doable, or let's say on retrieving the battery, on being able to pull that into a home or a flat, basically, to actually charge it.
And are they something like lithium-ion batteries, or are they something else that are being installed?
So can you repeat the question?
Are they like lithium-ion batteries?
These are LFP batteries.
LFP,
so,
okay.
and we also think about versions, obviously, on making. So we don't like NMC because they're obviously much unsafe. We have seen already a lot of fires basically breaking out in that regard, and there's in the future also potentially the question of using a battery supplier who has immersion-cooled batteries, which basically reduces the fire issues considerably when charging.
All right, thank you.
Okay, danke schön, Chris. Danke sehr. Könnt ihr mal applaudieren, bitte? So what we're going to do now, we're going to train. Do you know that this year is like a historical election year? I think there was not any year in history where you had 2 billion people in elections voting for new systems, new presidents, or whatever. And Europe is one of the hubs. We have close to 500 million people voting for the future of Europe. This is the 6th to 9th June. And I hope that you remember this and that you don't spend the day at the beach or in the club or whatever what Berliners do, okay? So go voting in June. To train this, we're going to vote now. You can take out your phone and do this here, smartphone, or to go to slido.com and type in 1048605. You have the selection, 6 people. It's easier than this European vote because these are all cool selections, okay? You cannot make a mistake. They're all great. Good thing is, the one who wins doesn't leave losers behind because we all win. So it's not about winning here. It's about sending someone to the main stage as a representative for all the others. So I hope that you will be wise and select the one person that you think represents the spirit of what we do here best. It's not about the best app or the best technological solution, but the best representation of what we want to achieve here. So it's not a competition, it's more of a co-opetition. So let's see what happens. We have Senken. It's not the final, it's like, you know, don't be Donald Trump. Don't applaud before it's over. Senken leading with 44. AWorld, you know, just following, it's changing right now. By the way, what is up there? What is this here? Is this the total of people having voted or what? That's here, this is AWorld, okay. I mean, this is AWorld. Senken, it's not over yet, so you still have time to bribe some people to get up the ladder. So you have Klima&so. So, no, it's not a metal band. He used to play in a metal band, don't worry. You have IPAGE Global with 13%. Well, it's always good to have. Now we have to see, is anybody here who hasn't voted yet? Please raise your hand, because else we're gonna, you do it. Go. Go, go. So we wait. What's your name? Katja. We're waiting for Katja. She's done. Okay, so this is the vote, okay? Any comments, any corrections? Nobody, fighting against the election? Then I'm very proud and very happy to announce the representative, the winner of this room, next to be seen on the main stage, AWorld with 23%, close to a third. Thanks a lot. Where are you? Where are you? Ah, there you are. No, yes. I'm like, where is he? Now you have to go on stage and thank your parents and so on, like they do at the Oscars. No, tell us what you're going to say on the main stage.
Well, first of all, thank you. It's an amazing achievement. This is a testimony that we hope that we're doing something good and something worth it. Tomorrow is going to be another pitching competition. So it's going to be something very similar to today, what you saw today. Trying to inspire as many people as we can. We really think that the intention behavior gap that we all have is something that we need to fight on a daily basis and have to be reminded that we can all live more sustainably, but we need a little help. And this is why we exist. So thank you.
Thank you very much. Have a great day.
It's time to wake up.